All right, welcome to That Davis Show. My name is Kenneth Davis. You can follow me at That's Davis on social media platforms. I'm always lucky enough to be joined by executive producer of the show, Ryan Bukovetsky. You can follow him at Ryan B. Ski and Ryan B. Ski 1 on Instagram. We got a lot to talk about a little. You know what I'm saying? And by little, I don't mean, of course, we're going to talk about the Oscars Sunday night. And I don't mean Will Packard, the job that he did producing it. I don't mean what Wanda Sykes, Regina Hall, and Amy Schumer did is the job that they did as well, hosting it. I don't mean how great Beyonce's performance was and Billie Eilish and her brother. It's definitely, about the slap scene throughout the metaverse, basically. So, it's just
a slap heard around the metaverse. I like it.
And the funny part is like, I was out of real time. I thought I was out of real time more, right? So when like the text, I don't know if it was on our text thread, but when the text first went out, I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, it's going to take me about 15 minutes to get there. And it was like, I want to say maybe 4 minutes max, right? And I'm like, whoa, like I'm blown away. All right. Will Smith, open hand smacks, presenter Chris Rock for making a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. It's been interpreted, and I don't know, that Chris Rock knew she had alopecia. He said he didn't via Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club this morning. Said that he reached out to Chris Rock and they talked. Because I know I didn't know. It's not something that, I'll be totally honest with you. I thought her hair was a fashion, was why her hair.
That's what I thought too.
I thought it was a fashion statement. All right. So, excuse me. I didn't know. And let me say this. Chris Rock may have known. I somewhat take his word, but I'm probably biased in doing so. Because my initial reaction was, I don't think he made the G.I. Jane comment talking about Demi Moore's late 90s movie where she was going through boot camp and had to shave her head. I don't think he was saying it as far as like, oh, your sickness has you out here like this. I think he took it as, oh, that's the style, and I can't wait since you had that style for you to play that role. As a joke, there was a stale joke at that. And I don't even think he thought it was a killer joke. I think he thought he was playing nice, like he said, when he was like, that was nothing, G.I. Jane, right there. I think he thought, because a lot of it, real quick, they were laying softballs to the real elephant in the room when it comes to the Smiths, if we're all being honest. Outside of Regina Hall making a comment when she was doing the COVID testing with the gentleman that she brought up onto the stage, and she said something about Will Smith and Jada. That's the only time their relationship and what people think is their relationship kind of was put front and center. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you're at an event like this, there's roasting that takes place. You saw it from.
I was about to say that wasn't a very Oscar joke, calling someone starring in the next film. Like, that is quintessential Oscar right there. Oh, look at the G.I. Jane 2 over here.
Right. And again,
like, listen, you hear that every.
We could be wrong though. I don't know what's in that man's heart.
Well, it's not excusing it or anything like that.
Yeah, but I'll say
just in terms of the pageantry of it, it seemed normal Oscar humor, right?
I'll say this. If he did it with the knowledge of her affliction, I have more of an understanding on Will Smith's reaction, to be honest with you. All right. If you were making fun of his wife's illness, I my understanding of, and this is, of course, I'm ignorant to everything that's going on here. So I don't know these people, but I'm just giving you my opinion, our opinion on what necessarily took place. But you had the funny Amy Schumer joke to the creators of the Lucille Ball movie, where she was talking about how the movie's great, but you had one of the funniest human beings alive in Lucille Ball, and you had no funny parts in the movie. And she said it was like making a movie about Michael Jordan, and all you had was the bus rides to and from the game, basically. You had...
some of those would be real entertaining with Mike.
Right, they would have been. They would have been, right? You had...
But the point still stands.
You had the Gyllenhaal joke about them being a couple instead of siblings. All right. And I didn't see Jake being like, don't disrespect my sister.
Get your sister's name out your mouth.
You know, but you had plenty of people and shots taken. Now I'll say this. Outside of Gyllenhaal, that was personal. That wasn't a shot at the movie, something they created. That was a shot at them and their family, right? Man, dude, from our text threads, as a crew.
Yeah, I wanted to ask the question.
Go ahead.
As soon as I see Will Smith anything in the news, my immediate reaction is, how's Ken doing? How is my man Ken Davis handling whatever particular news is here, whether it is joyful or problematic? So when I did really like, whoa, he slapped. Okay, Will Smith did something at the okay. So he's
so you weren't watching this?
Somebody? No, I was not. This is one of the few Oscars I actually didn't watch
because I never really. I don't really watch. But
only of the last few years I've kind of like pulled back from the Oscar thing.
Okay.
And of course the one, and I was interested in this one, but I just like, I don't know, for some reason I missed the nominees coming out when I never missed that. I actually looked it up, I think like the other day before Sunday. Well, like, when are the Oscars? Like, this weekend, asshole. It's like, oh, I'm totally missing it. But so I was not watching it whatsoever, seeing our text thread going, and then I see the video of the slap, and I'm like, oh, I need to talk to Ken. I need to know how Ken is doing. So my first reaction was, how did you react, Mr. Ken Davis, to your boy, Will Smith?
We might have to take that one back. One, I didn't plan. I thought about watching it because of Will Packard and all the ladies that were hosting it, let alone Beyonce's performance. So it was on. The Afton had the pre-show on, and I'm wondering, like, man, I'm about to go upstairs and just watch TV or whatever, because I mean, she can have a basement. I don't think I really want to watch it. So they open with Beyonce in Compton at the Serena and Venus and Serena courts, right? Which was terrific. And I said to her, I said, man, we could turn this off now and turn it back on at the end, right? We'd see if when Will gets his award, right? I was like, it's a wrap. Like, we're good now. We good money, right?
Oscars 2022, the best.
Right. So I set that still. I decided to watch it. And, okay. So my thoughts when I first saw it. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, I mean, like, dude, first of all, listen. I mean, I think if you know me, let me be very open and upfront. I'm always for the protection of women, let alone black women. Sisters, don't get it twisted. It's just, I'm irrational to a degree when it comes to that. All right. So by no means am I saying as a man should not defend his woman. But also, I think it depends on what's taking place. All right. Like, defense from an attack, defense from utter disrespect. Again, if Chris Rock doesn't know that she has her infliction, and he says he didn't, allegedly, then that's where sometimes you have to take a step back and know what you were saying earlier about the culture of the Oscars, basically. You know what I'm saying? Let alone when first of all, Will and Jada could have been a topic at the Oscars if he did not have a movie out. That's because they're one of the biggest couples ever in Hollywood. All right. So they're always on deck for discussion. It also would be different. And I'll use another black actor in this. For instance, I don't even remember what Denzel Washington's wife's name is. All right. I see her at award shows. The point I'm trying to make is, now, if your spouse isn't involved in this industry, I can understand you having a thin skin to this. That's one. But then on top of it, if you and your spouse are in this industry, and to a certain degree, your lives are an open book, and you invite this as far as people in your life to a certain degree, you've made yourself cannon fodder. Now, that's not to say he has to like you, but that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be all out there and not catch bullets. You know what I'm saying? That's why you shouldn't be outside. So my thought was, like, why the hell did this man ruin his moment? Like, as a Will Smith stan, we have waited forever for him to finally get this. All right. You had Ali, you had concussion. You finally knew, okay, looking at this, who were the male leads this year. And when he said he was doing it, it was like, oh, this may be the one. This one may go, right? You finally get it at the blackest Oscars we've had. And not to say that it makes a difference that it's black, but it should. You know what I'm saying? It should. I see people.
It matters.
Yeah, I see people commenting like it doesn't matter where it was at. I'll say this: if I felt it was true disrespect, I agree. And I also say this: I don't think I could have been as big a man as Chris Rock was. And that's for me and for our culture, you need things that go against what people deem as the norm. And the norm is, people expect them to get to tussling up there. Two of the biggest stars in Hollywood, the two of the most A-list of A-listers, tussling over a joke. You know what I'm saying? That didn't land right, that I don't even know if it was meant to be malicious or not, right? And the thing is, too, he initially laughed. Will Smith could have cursed the hell out of Chris Rock. We would have all heard the audio turn off and been like, because just like we thought, because that's what kind of was like, wait, this is real. Once the audio was out, it was like, oh no, this ain't fake, because they wouldn't have cut the audio. Not to say, I still wonder, and as a part of me,
I do too.
Hold out to see in the next 6 months, will they be like, because some of it looks staged, to be honest, right? But why?
And it's not hard to stage a audio cutout and be like, "Oh, it's real."
No. I mean, if the Academy's in on it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would, to be honest with you, I would hate I would hate now to a degree if it was staged. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Or because even though who knows how they're going to address this to clean it up for image sakes. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, like I was gonna give tickets to Chris Rock's show here in Chicago this upcoming fall. I still am, but I know now he has got some stuff to say. All right,
yeah,
we're like it's going. I mean, it's going to be. He has a whole set basically about what took place. Right, like he had to know that money was being printed, even if he doesn't sue. Of course, listen, that's going to be some cash considerations. All right, taking place as far as like yo, all right. Like, but even if he doesn't do anything, he had to know, like, dude, this is gold. I'm not a gangster anyway. Even though, like I'm saying, we squabbling, bro. Like, that's just the truth of the matter. You bet not turn your back on me because I'm tackling you. It's going the fuck down. All right, like it's no motherfucking way. Like first of all, he couldn't have got that close to me, which still makes me think something was up. It's no way he not saying nothing. Like, even if I fake, like, hold up, Will. Like, even if I fake playing, but, like, let me just get my defensive posture ready in case this fool tries something. Like, I mean, listen, Chris Rock was so thrown off. He called him Richard when he started walking on the stage. Referring to the movie King Richard. He says, watch it. He says, Richard? He says Richard when he's...
Well, to be fair, the two Tweety birds were finally coming into the same, like, image around his head. After that slap, he needed a few seconds.
And listen, his composure and getting back on point. Dog, he caught himself because he was like, man, he was about to go in on them, right? He was about to light their asses up, right? At least his. But he knew how important the moment was. You know what I'm saying? That you couldn't let it.
The consequences are gonna not be worth anything.
Yeah, utter foolishness. When it comes to us as a people, it was like for someone who has made black people proud, as far as Will Smith, right? Someone who has always tried to do, for the most part, when he's front facing, the positive thing. Not to say he's perfect by any means, all right? He got rid of the old Aunt Viv. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say he's perfect. Clearly, and he points it out, he has flaws like all of us have flaws. And sometimes I like his openness, but sometimes, and one of the things that we always talk about on our text thread that I'm always like, man, I just want to see Will Smith happy. I think that, to me, that was a scream, to be honest with you. That was a scream about I'm not right. You know, you can't become...
Because I was going to ask you, like, you know that all they have is all these after parties that they go to. Is there any thought of like, I'm going to slap the hell out of this MFer when I see him in the after party tonight? Where there's no cameras, there's no nothing.
Most people thought if Will felt that way, he should step to him at the after party. Right? Now, I did read that Chris Rock wasn't planning on staying and left like he planned on. He went to like Madonna's manager's party. and that's where he's planning to go, and he's with his friends, and he was acting like it was fine. He said his friends was watching the door and checking out where he's at or whatever. But like, what's gonna happen? About Will Smith about to pull up? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he wants that smoke, now I'm not to say, dog, we don't know. Will Smith may have some hitters with him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, does he really want this smoke? All right, like, just like, let me know right now, because now I'm ready for him. You know what I'm saying? If Shawty really want to pull it, let me know what's going on. I wouldn't have been big enough. That I wouldn't have been big enough to not do anything. You know what I'm saying? And so let's even put it like this: if he disrespected his wife, if you take it like that, he took a smacking and he didn't do anything about it, so he accepted the retribution, right? I still wouldn't have been able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going, like, that was Chris. Why do you think Chris Rock is there? Right?
To antagonize.
Yeah, like come on, it's Chris Rock. And that's what it's, come on, dog. Like, so, I mean, my thought, to get back to your question about how I felt like he ruined the night that was his night. It was his coronation, and he peed on it, to be honest with you. And I'm not, again, if I truly believe that Chris Rock had ill intent, I would feel Will's movements a little bit more, because you got to protect your lady. Don't get it twisted. But I just don't, to me, I don't think Chris Rock would make a joke at the Oscars about someone's affliction. That I don't think he would have done that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he would have done that. You know what I'm saying? Especially Jada Pinkett Smith. You know what I'm saying? So
right. That's what I'm thinking too. Like, depending on who that person was, but not Jada. Yeah,
I still don't see him. Like, how many, like, handicap, and I'm not saying it's funny, how many people, I don't even know how to say how many abled, non-able, you get what I'm trying to say, everybody. Disabled, like, jokes does. Like, I remember growing up, him having a ton of, and I've been following Chris Rock since SNL. You know what I'm saying? Like, that really wasn't his bits for the most part. You know, that's not to say that he can't be spicy, but just to say the fact that, I mean, his thing is really looking at the world, relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, racist, like, that's really like his. It's almost like
Jerry Seinfeld, except more hardcore.
Yeah, great point. And again, so I could be wrong, right? And if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. But I didn't take it that he meant it in the context with her infliction, Jada Pinkett Smith infliction. So to me, Will Smith was overreacting. One, he was laughing initially. All right, so think it like this. Think it like this is a problem. So at first, you didn't take it like that. So if you didn't take it like that, how the hell is someone who's not your wife's husband, who doesn't perhaps know her affliction, supposed to know? Like, everyone's laughing, you're laughing, until you see that she is upset, and now he thinks about, I got to go home. She about to be saying I'm a bitch again, right? You can see that was, you're not Pac. I'm sorry. That's what everybody's doing, right? Like, and I hear people like,
I know, I hate it too. I'm seeing that everywhere. Like, what was that dude's name that she was in the entanglement with?
August Alsina.
That artist.
August Alsina.
Like, all I'm seeing all over Twitter, Instagram is like Will just basically like, can I slap that dude, or the crime meme? Like, oh, I'm like,
this is the thing. I'm just gonna keep it 100. That lady has put you into a lot, bro, and I'm sure you probably put her into a lot. But man, it just don't seem like it's the right move anymore, to be honest, because it's got you acting like that. You know what I'm saying? It's got you at that red table. Like, listen, there's a great chance that Will Smith has definitely dabbled during their relationship. That's what it seems like. All right, from what you hear from them, basically.
What we're thinking, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. They're both in an open relationship at one point, but one party decided to keep everything private versus the other that didn't keep it all private.
Well, this is the problem. I'm gonna tell you that now we on some pure speculation bullshit, right?
Yes, but let's go to speculation land. We haven't been there in a minute. I love that place.
All right. Will Smith is Hollywood. Like, I know how to move, right? And I'm sure his thought when Jada brought August Alsina there was, he doesn't have enough to lose for you to trust him with what's going on in his house. because I'm sure the people that Will dabbles with, one, have something to lose or know that what it really is. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever it is he's been with knows, yo, when your life is going bad and you need something, a buzz to come around you, don't insert Will Smith and you dibby dabbly. You know what I'm saying? Because it was always clear. It was like this August Alsina shit is gonna go left, right? Because he's too young. He don't know no better. What's he gonna do? His career is toast. All he has is that one ace in his back pocket that we all knew was going on, right? That's the only ace. And I'm sure Will was like, look, all right, but I'm telling you that I don't trust it. And it went left, and I'm sure that's why he was at that table like, like you don't listen. I told you, right? And I told you we was gonna get here, and this happened, and it's still been tumbling since, right? Tumbling out of control because you can't play your damn position. All right. Like, dude, like I mean, and it's just like how people eat it up. Like, I mean, see, now you're about to let me go on a whole nother rant.
Go,
right?
go, baby, go.
Dog, Will Smith, we're here for Will, y'all. All right, let's just keep it a buck. All right, he could have married anybody. All right, he had married his sister already, so we wasn't going to use that card on him. All right, and listen, growing up watching Jada on A Different World and in movies. Listen, shout out to Jada Pinkett Smith. But let's this ain't Jay-Z and Beyonce, everybody. All right, and people be like, dude, I'm here for this. Like, nah, fam, nah, this you don't listen, that man's home is stressful. That is not how the house is supposed to be, yo. You get to the crib, not to say sometimes the house can't be stressful, but majority of the times it's a place to decompress. All right, not a place where you're getting tested and you feel tortured. And sometimes, I mean, I don't know if that's happening there, but when you act out like that, to me, you screaming for help, bro. You screaming.
That's a good point.
You're screaming because he snapped. Like, that's the thing. And people want to think he snapped just on some silver off of chivalry, right? I don't think that was it. I think it was somewhat clearly went through his mind. Oh, Jada's mad. It's Chris Rock. I could take him, right? Like, because he had to size him up. He had to size, because dog, he won. I'll say it again. He wouldn't have done it to a white. It's chance of him doing it to a white dude. And I'm talking about that little reporter that kissed him overseas. All right, I'm talking about somebody substantial, right? I don't think he would have done it. I'll say this. It's funny, before we recorded this show, I was thinking of who else, because I saw this dude over from Britain, and he was talking about, did you see that they got security there and they let him sit back down? If Kanye was there, my thought was, why are you interjecting Kanye? It's like,
right.
Where's this come? Like, you know how much of a stand you have to be where your first thoughts when this happens is, what if it was Kanye? Like, goodness, what would Jesus Christ, what would Kanye West do? But still this. So I was thinking in my head, right? So I guess we could do this. Name actors who you think could have done what Will Smith did and pulled it off. I'll start by naming a few.
Okay.
Everybody, the two prominent actors from, I don't know because they're not as high as they used to be, but I'll say De Niro and maybe Al Pacino, but definitely De Niro could probably pull it off, right?
Definitely De Niro.
Tom Hanks.
Yes. Yes, he could have. He must have just lost his wrist when he was going for the handshake.
It's Tom. Tom Hanks could have pulled it off. I had somebody else.
Do you think Denzel? I feel like Denzel could pull it off.
Maybe. Just he maybe be able to pull it off. He may, because listen, I'm gonna look. Okay, so who else do you have? Because I got a couple more of these.
Brad Pitt came to mind, but I don't know.
I don't think he can pull it off. I don't think he could. I think they would have grabbed his ass. I think Brad Pitt did it, especially if they knew it was. I think at first they would have paused and thought it was a joke. And then when they saw it was serious, I think they would have carried his ass up out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Listen, he might have been able to go back to his seat, but he wouldn't have been able to stay in it. All right, Brad Pitt, you got to go, buddy, baby.
Escort the beautiful man in the front.
Exactly, the beautiful one. Let me take it in before I score. All right, sir, you got to go. It was somebody.
Excuse me, sir. You're beautiful, but you need to leave.
I don't know. I don't think Affleck could have got away with it.
No, maybe Damon. Maybe Damon.
I was gonna say maybe Damon.
Hell no to Affleck.
Damon's another person that he would have been able to get back to his seat, but he wouldn't have been able to stay there. All right, they would have been like, "You come on, you got to go." Right? It's only a few people that they would let sit down, hurl more abuse. All right, and stay and win an award. All right, there's very few people. Right? Well, listen, this is a shout out to Will Smith. Because listen, let me tell you now. I don't know if, and I thought about, I don't know if Denzel, it's funny you bring up. I think Jay-Z would have got his ass carried up out of there. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I'm talking about Diddy, they would have snatched the fuck out of Diddy.
Oh, right? Yeah.
They would have tackled Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't be a chance. Right? Like Will Smith has hit a layer that he
is literally the Fresh Prince of Hollywood.
Right, dude. Listen, he's reached a level that there are few white men who can get away with.
I love the Matt Damon, Ben Affleck visual. I could totally see Matt Damon get into the seat. Like, excuse me, sir, you need to leave now.
Yeah, you got.
Ben Affleck does. They're like, oh, Goodwill Hunting, you're okay, but you need to leave right now. Ben Affleck does it. It's like, you think this is a town? Get his ass out of here.
Yeah, they totally would have got his ass right. Yeah, I definitely. There's very few people. I'm trying to think. Listen, and this is the worst one. I don't know of any women who could get away with doing it. I think they would have I think any woman that it could be Dame Judi Dench. I think any woman who would have done it, and they may have been kinder to her because they would have been like she had a senior moment. But any woman, I feel like if a woman had done it, they would have been carried their ass up out of it, and that lets you know just how messed up the world is and unequal.
Yeah. The only one I can think of. Blanking on her name. The all-time decorated one.
You're talking about like Meryl Streep?
Yes, that's the only one I can think of.
Meryl Streep is coming out of that seat. She may get back to the seat. Meryl is coming up out the seat. They're like, Meryl, you got to come on, baby. You got to. I know, but you got to come. Like that's a level that you reach where they go, dog. They listen and then give you a standing ovation. Right? Like my man took the air out the room.
Let me ask you, when he came up for the Oscar acceptance, what were you kind of thinking as he's like, Will Smith, best actor, and he's walking on up?
I'm gonna tell you what I thought at the end. You didn't apologize to Chris Rock? Because listen, I'm damage control. I got the smack, I got the lick in, right? It don't matter if I'm really sorry or not. I got to lick in,
You could just pay lip service to it.
I could
just like you paid service to his lips.
Exactly. So I could come up there, even if it's not genuine, and be like, man, I'm sorry I lost it and I couldn't have, and I apologize. I would have given the most sincere apology to Chris Rock right there. And look, to be honest with you,
I'd like to dedicate this award to Chris Rock.
Exactly. I would have meant it. I have smacked people and regretted it later on in the day. Right, I thought about, and I won't say his name. A cat that I was cool with in high school. It's funny. I read through.
Yeah, don't say his name.
I ran through thinking about him today, and I was thought about how he got beaten like severely out one day gambling or something. I think it was maybe at one of our classmates' house, and he was there with some people he didn't know. I mean, they like broke his teeth. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Like this is in high school, right? Like, I mean, he couldn't come to school for days and then had to come to school because he had missed so many days. And this is before he had like, I mean, and I always felt like I feel bad for that. So I'll never say his name. But I remember this one day I was at school and I parked and I was backing up. And as I was backing up fast. He pulled into where I was backing up, almost slammed into him, caused an accident, right? So I get out the car, what the fuck is you doing? And he like, man, hey, and I just went smack. Right? I mean,
I love the visual. What the hell are you doing? Hey, slapper.
Right? But the thing is, later on that day, we made up. Right? Later on that day, we saw each other. I was like, man, my bad. And he was like, man, my bad. Because I was really there was no reason for me to put my hands on that man. Right? That who was really, really wrong? I was. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the only time where I've done some stuff like that, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, I would really be apologizing, to be honest with you. Because one, I embarrassed someone. I have empathy, right? So when you embarrass the hell out of you're here, right? If you didn't get embarrassed, then clearly the embarrassment's on the other person in that type of situation, right?
Right.
So I'll be thinking, oh, like, damn, I just did this. One, made a fool of myself, made a fool of this movie that I've just in, made a fool out of everyone who's won something tonight or nominated tonight, made a fool of Will Packard's production along with those wonderful women that host the show. Like, you messed with all of it. Really. You messed for a joke.
That brings up an interesting thought to me. Like, I'm sure Will Smith has slapped the hell out of somebody before that moment, at least at some point in his life, at some kind or another. He didn't have any remorse whatsoever. I wonder if he's like, damn straight that's how it should have went down. Not apologizing for nothing.
He could be, but again, like, if you're going to be a bully, be the bully to the bullies. You know what I'm saying? Some people may say that about Chris Rock. Some people feel like that. You see some people like Chris Rock had it coming. It's a comedian, man. Like that, again, if he said something slanderous, like, dog, he had, and you see when he was like, man, he could have went into that entanglement stuff and did a bit up there until they turned the lights off, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he was the bigger person, like, period. No question. Again, now this is me with a bias of I don't believe he was attacking her infliction, Jada Pinkett's infliction of alopecia. I don't think that. And again, it was confirmed. It doesn't mean he's not lying. By Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club saying that he talked to Chris Rock, and Chris Rock said he didn't know. I saw Amanda Seale was on her Instagram today. Was like, I didn't know. It's not something that says. And Afton was texting her family and was like, because we was like, wait, is something? And she was like, yeah. Well, her cousin was like, yeah, she has alopecia or whatever, right? So it's even in the Black community for us that are not Jada stands, it's not something where I think that we're concerned about. Maybe we definitely should at anybody's infliction, but it's not something that we're all cognizant of, I guess is the way I'm trying to word that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially too, because she doesn't like necessarily look sick in any way. She just has a shaved head, which isn't abnormal whatsoever. There are plenty of women that have that, and you just don't want to assume, oh, you must be sick.
Well, she has been out and talking about it. But again, I don't follow Jada Pinkett Smith.
That's all I'm saying. So like, it just wasn't really common knowledge, and she doesn't, like, unless you see it, like, you wouldn't just be like, oh, there's something wrong with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Right. I mean, the most of the reasons I pay attention to Jada has been something to do with Will Smith, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes the table talk, like when we're looking up flip topics, sometimes that would bring up some good stuff.
When's the last time, though? When's the last time?
You're right, sir. All I'm proving is your point. That's as much as I really know about Jada since, like, the Matrix movies. Like, that gap.
I couldn't. And listen, after that table talk, I couldn't come back to the table. I was like, I'm good, bro. Like, you got bro. Why you got bro? Dog, like, this is a problem. This is the thing, too. Some people need protection. And I know it's Will Smith was a man. So all this palette of being a man, listen, your family is there to protect you too. And I don't necessarily think she does a great job of protecting him as she could. And it can go both ways with them. I don't, because his business shouldn't be in the like, how often do we really know what he's done? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Before that, like, entanglement, I felt like I never knew anything about Will Smith's personal life whatsoever.
Right. So you shouldn't be putting it out there. Like, you should, like, no, this isn't how the game is played. Like,
I know.
This is the problem.
And it bothers me too, because it's like, I thought we did the show on the entanglement back in the day. Like, we've done this show. I thought it was over with. Like, we could all move on. Like, we're trying to be more progressive as a society. And of course, celebrities are just always the most progressive out of everybody.
Yeah, no,
or at least trying to be.
Yeah, I don't
and
care.
You're just waiting for this to be over with, and now it's all brought back up.
It's all brought. And again, number one, let me say this. Jada Pinkett Smith didn't do anything last night wrong. She could have reacted the same way she did. So by no means, even though I can't say this, she maybe could have grabbed his hand. Hold on,
I was going to say the one thing. She could have maybe chose a better dress, but that's it.
Oh, no, that dress was...
I've been seeing all the articles grading against it. It.
I like it. I like the dress. When I saw maybe it was the red carpet shot, but the length shot of her in it, it was a stunning dress. I'm gonna go against that. I think she had a stunning
Ooh,
dress.
we should do our own red carpet. That
We
Davis
should.
show, red carpet.
We should. I'm gonna go against that. All right. And look,
Ken, how do you
again,
like the ensemble on Miss Jada Pinkett Smith right here?
listen again, and I know some people won't believe it. I'm always here for protection of sisters. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take it, and maybe it's on me. I didn't take it that he was attacking alopecia. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think. I don't think, and I could be wrong because I know none of these parties, but I didn't think Chris Rock was coming with that type of heat when he was talking about, because I know that's not what when he said it, I was just thinking that her head is shaven. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was really thinking. I wasn't thinking, I didn't put it like this. In my head, it didn't make me remember, oh wait, does Jada have something that causes her to, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it didn't trigger that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that that's in me. Now, mind you, Chris Rock is in Hollywood, he knows them, but people are living their lives. Like, I'm just like, that's like how we're all in our own movie to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Let alone people that are really in movies. You know what I'm saying? So again, I still think that for someone who is rooted for Will Smith his entire career, that, and again, I guess you deserve, you know what? I'll say this. You deserve to mess up. And unfortunately that it harmed somebody else in Chris Rock, who may have gone across the line, definitely according to Will Smith, to do that. I can't sit here as someone who said that I feel like Will Smith for a large majority of his life has been a treasure to Black folks, and then he does one thing and I throw him away. You know what I'm saying? Like I won't do that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I'm staying anymore. All right. I love him. I don't know if I'm a stand because like some stuff, I can't agree with. I can't agree with that. And I mean, but see, that's a whole nother discussion.
It's like the Charles Barkley thing. What does he say? I'm not a hero. Like, yeah, well, that's what they all are.
Yeah, no one's ever my hero. Let me leave. Not saying you're saying that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
but
like
I never really put athletes and actors as like my idols.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I can love aspects.
But it's human. That's what I think it is. I think it's human nature. You fall in love with aspects of people, and your mind, it's almost like Jurassic Park with the DNA sequencing. Like, your mind fills the gaps. And you just think like, yeah, he's a good person.
You're right.
Yikes.
Right. That still doesn't mean he's not a good person. That's still, I mean,
right.
Yeah, if a man's defending his woman in general,
I meant more so there's a chink to that armor that I thought was always invincible. Yeah, it always is, but you just can't help it. It's human nature. You fall into the story. You want to believe something in someone. Just how it works.
I'll end it on this. To me, again, I think it was a cry for help. And I think it's
really quick with that. Really quick with the cry for help. Because tell me if you feel this way too. I felt like Will and Jada were like, when Table Talk started and just looking at Will's social media, he was really like out there for the first time in a long time. And then the Jada Pinkett Smith entanglement happens, and I feel like he kind of kept going, but then it just went right back inside, kind of like in the hole where we don't see him anymore. It must have been so tough for him to have all this press, all this media about King Richard. And if he is feeling that way that I'm describing, to just be out there with like that matzah hanging off of you when he probably wasn't even that comfortable being out there in the first place.
I'll say this. About 2-3 months ago, I was looking at some of the King Richard stuff, and I was seeing on Will Smith's Instagram, because I follow Will Smith. I just one day went down his thread, his timeline, and I saw that there wasn't pictures of Jada really on there, right? So I went to Jada's, and I saw that the last thing she had posted on him was Father's Day, right? And they had done maybe a King Richard debut, red carpet run someplace, or something perhaps she did, I believe. But they hadn't really been in each other's, at least it's for social consumption. Let me put it like that. That's me being ignorant. At least for social consumption, they weren't posting each other. All right. Because I think they were going through healing from that entanglement stuff, to be honest with you. Like that is out in the streets and became a word. You know what I'm saying? And I still feel, and we know how emotionally tumultuous it seems like Will Smith is. He's a very sensitive person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything's wrong with it because I can be sensitive at times, right? But I do know, and that's not to say that I still may not need more help, how to work through my things, and I know my triggers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a large reason why I stay even keeled, because if I'm angry, I don't think straight. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't comprehend logic as well as when I'm poised and calm, where I can really go through everything in a logical fashion and know, Ken, that doesn't, Ken, you're bugging. You know what I'm saying? I have to tell myself at times, like, dog, you're bugging. Like, no, you're bugging. There's no this and that. No, you're wrong. And I still think it was a screen. And I'm not saying this is what Will Smith is doing or should do. I'm just talking about my own machinations. I think it's still a scream for someone who's just going through a lot, and someone who also had to be a model of perfection since they were a teenager, basically. You know what I'm saying? And trying to live through Hollywood and just everything. And I think he needs some help that I don't feel like he's found just yet. And again, this is just my opinion, but I don't think that just happens. What happens last night out of this one thing happened, and I had to really act totally different from who I have been. Now, again, I'm saying front facing. He may be slapping mugs all day long in the back, but as far as what we've known.
But like you said, he was laughing. You would think someone that's laughing at the joke wouldn't have that type of reaction down the road at the same moment.
And so, so that's it. You got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
I mean, I hope Will's doing good. I don't know if I'm a Will stan, but I'm close like you. Like Will Smith has a nice place in his heart. Like he was a big part of my childhood. So I hope he's getting help. I hope he's feeling good. I hope it. Like I think ultimately, maybe I'm totally off on this. Like Diddy said that they worked it out. I feel like they'll work it out. I really do.
Yeah, I totally
they kind of came up together. You know, they're very similar in how they have a story of Hollywood at sort of the same time, really. Like they've been in the same generations. It's not like one is just like significantly younger than the other, and we have an age gap of like how people view the world.
I think Will is 53 and Chris Rock is 57, I believe, something around that.
You know, like it's not like a 50-year-old and a 20-year-old. Like we view the world totally different. Like you can't do this, you can't do that type thing. So, man, I hope ultimately we don't go too crazy with this. I don't want to hear us talk about Will needs to lose his award because he slapped Chris Rock. Like, relax.
No,
relax.
I totally disagree with that. Yeah,
and
like
we don't have to go overboard. Like this doesn't have to become this. Like I don't even like when you told me here, like, oh, what would they do if Kanye here? Like I don't want to hear what would you do if Will Smith did that?
I'm gonna say this though: the security needs to be on deck moving forward. All right, y'all need to have like a little pit, and it's a cover to it with security members down there. Security needs to, because I'm telling, dude, that's a lawsuit right there. All right,
yeah,
like for real,
yes,
for real. I'm suing everybody up in this piece. All right, Will, Jada, Lupita Nyong'o, Will Packer, the host, I'm suing everybody.
Was Willow even there? I'm suing Willow on top of it.
Exactly, and I'm getting my lick back. Like, dude, I'm taking it. Everybody, like, what? Y'all listen. Y'all gonna let Shorty sit? What? Listen, that's what I would have said. Like, what? Y'all gonna let him sit down? Oh, hell no. Dude,
could you imagine, Chris? Security! Just yelling out through the mic.
Security! Oh, man.
Get this man. I am the Oscars now.
Oh, man. So, yeah, definitely. We'll be back with some more topics later on this week. We'll probably get to a sports show, too, give you our thoughts on what the Bulls are doing, upcoming baseball season, and the look at what the Bears may be
sprinkling
doing.
A Bears draft.
Yeah, sprinkling a Bears draft. Of course, we got to start diving deep into there. So for Ryan Bukovetsky and myself, please don't do anything crazy before you hear from us.
And keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely, D. Keep your damn hands to yourself.